why the drawings you see on Pinterest look so dreamy, whimsical, aesthetic, and yours look like this. And before you say it, no, you don't just suck at art. Most of the time, it's actually just a few intentional styling choices that completely changes how a drawing feels. And the good news is, you too can learn those choices and give your art the same aesthetic look. In this video, I'm going to walk you through those choices step by step, from how to even start to adding meaningful details, building a background that brings everything together, and everything in between. And to show all of this in action, I'll be drawing food illustrations as examples because I love food. So if you've ever looked at your art and thought, why does it not look like the art I saved on Pinterest? This video is going to show you exactly how to get there. Style builds on simplicity. When you start a new drawing, you might be tempted to jump right in and add a bunch of details and shapes and colors, but here's the secret. Style works best on simplicity. The purpose of your base layer isn't to make your drawing look impressive, it's to act like a foundation. Think of it as separating your drawing into big, simple shapes and clear sections of colors and composition. When you try to introduce too much complexity early on, the drawing can start to look messy, and ironically, it actually hides your style instead of enhancing it. So don't overwork this stage. Just focus on building a clean foundation so the whimsical details can stand out later. Use colors to set the mood. Now that you have a clean foundation, it's time to set the mood. Color determines how the drawing feels before details even exist. The artworks you see on Pinterest feel cohesive because the colors complement each other. Whether it's pastel colors for a soft and dreamy look, or warm, neutral tones for a cozy feeling, the colors work together to convey the mood. So, instead of picking colors one by one, pick a color story. For example, you might choose a soft spring palette with pinks and greens, a warm cafe palette with creams and browns, or a dreamy sunset palette with peaches and lilacs. Pick 3 to 5 main colors and 1 accent color. Your main colors are what builds the foundation of your drawing, so they should appear in most areas and work together naturally. Instead of keeping each color separate, try blending your main colors into each other to create natural shadows, soft gradients, and subtle variations in tone. For example, instead of using gray to shade everything, you can layer a slightly darker version of one of your main colors or mix 2 of your palette colors together. This keeps the shading feeling soft and cohesive, and it helps add depth and dimension without breaking the overall harmony of your color story. On the other hand, your accent color should be used sparingly because its job is to stand out. Think of it as a visual spotlight that guides the viewer's eyes to important areas. You might use your accent color on small but meaningful details like toppings on a dessert, ribbons, sparkles, or tiny decorations you want people to notice first. Try placing accent colors near focal points or areas where you want contrast and separation. But be careful not to overuse it. If the accent color appears everywhere, it stops feeling special and loses its impact. Limiting your colors like this helps set a clear mood, giving your drawing that soft, cohesive Pinterest aesthetic. Let your lines breathe. Now that we've set the mood, let's talk about outlining, because line work can completely change the feeling of a drawing. A common mistake is outlining everything with the same thick, dark line. It might make the drawing look bold, but it can also make it feel heavy and flat, which works against that soft, dreamy aesthetic. Instead, think of outlines as guidance, not borders. Try keeping your lines light and slightly varied. Use thinner lines for softer areas, and only add darker or thick lines where you want emphasis, like distinguishing a main object from its surroundings. You also don't need to outline everything. Leaving some edges soft or letting colors define the shape can make the drawing feel more airy and natural. Another helpful tip is lowering contrast. Use dark brown, muted gray, or colored lines instead of pure black. This keeps everything feeling gentle and cohesive with your palette. When the weight and colors of lines changes, the drawing feels softer, more whimsical, and more like the aesthetic styles you see on Pinterest. Add details to tell a story. Your drawing is coming together, but this is where it really starts to gain personality. But allow me to start by presenting you with a meme. I will try my best to not tell you to just add details. A lot of the art you see on Pinterest feels magical not because the drawings are more complex, but because the details feel intentional and story-driven. Instead of adding random decorations, think about what kind of feeling or world your art lives in. Is it cozy, romantic, playful, or maybe dreamy? Choose small elements that make sense for your story. For example, you can add bubbles to a soft drink to show that it's extra fizzy, or highlights to a piece of glassware to show that it's made of, well, glass. You can even get extra creative and add sparkles and stars to make your drawing feel more alive. These micro details might seem small, but they are what gives the artwork that whimsical charm. They guide the viewer's eyes and make the piece feel styled rather than just finished. Another trick is repetition. Try repeating small motifs like hearts, flowers, or sparkles throughout the drawing. When elements repeat, everything feels much more cohesive and intentional. You're not just adding decoration anymore. You're adding personality and storytelling. Your background should complement, not compete. As you're finishing up your drawing, it can be tempting to try and fill every empty space. But this can actually make your drawing look cluttered and messy instead. The background's job isn't to compete with the subject, it's to support it. Start simple. Add gentle gradients, small patterns, or subtle textures that can give context without stealing the attention. You can also reuse colors from your palette so everything feels connected. And don't be afraid of empty space. Negative space helps the drawing breathe and makes the whimsical elements feel lighter and more intentional. Another helpful trick is to repeat subtle motifs from your main subject into the background. If you added small details like hearts, sparkles, flowers, or stars in your drawing, try echoing those same shapes faintly in the background as soft patterns or textures. Keep them lighter, smaller, or more spaced out than the ones in the foreground so they don't compete for attention. This repetition makes the whole piece feel more connected, almost like everything belongs in the same world. When the background complements the subject, the whole piece feels much more balanced and effortlessly Pinterest aesthetic. This isn't the end. Now that you know the steps to make your art look more dreamy, whimsical, and aesthetic, you might think that this is where the tutorial ends. But honestly, this is just the beginning. Style doesn't appear after one drawing. It comes from repeating these choices again and again. Every drawing you make is practice noticing what feels right to you. And the more you practice, the more these decisions become natural. That's when your art stops looking like something you copied from Pinterest and starts looking like your version of it. So, if your drawing doesn't look exactly how you want yet, it doesn't mean you lack talent. It just means you're still building your style one drawing at a time.